friends. Welcome to another episode of Aligned Heart. I'm Misty Springer, and I'm so happy to be with you all today. This is an episode about creating the energy of momentum. And this is one of my favorite topics. It's something that I do with my clients on the regular because it is exceptionally powerful. When I started adding this tool into my coaching practice, my clients started seeing more results. I started getting more clients re-signing, and they felt a powerful force of momentum in the transformations that they were making in their lives, in their businesses, in the goals that they set for themselves. This tool was such a powerful force. It's something that I have incorporated into the coach training that I offer, the mentorship that I offer. It's really, uh, it's a, it's a very simple and yet very powerful tool. And we're going to break down what that is and why it is so important and why it works. So the tool that I'm referring to is celebrations. And typically when we think of like a celebration, I ask my clients, what are three things that you're celebrating? What's something that you're celebrating that feels new and different in your mind, in your body, in your heart? And it's amazing how many times my clients say, oh my goodness, that's the hardest question you ask, because our brain is not wired to think about celebrations. Our brain is wired to think about how far I have left to go, or all the things that are going wrong, or the ways that I still need to improve, or all the ways that I'm not there yet. And think about your own life. Think about the ways that you think about the experiences that you have or the goals that you set. Oftentimes, it feels like, yes, I made some progress, but I'm not there yet. And it feels really discouraging when the progress that we do make is discounted. It's not weighted at all. What I want to offer is that celebrations are actually the way to create more of what you want, to create the energy of momentum and transformation. Aristotle said the energy of the mind is the essence of life. Let's say that one more time. The energy of the mind is the essence of life. That was Aristotle. I say your energy is your greatest asset, and your energy is made up of what you believe, think, and feel. And so when you change what you believe, you change your energy, you change your life. It really is about this whole concept that I talk quite a bit about, which is where you shine your light is what you will see, and what you see is the direction you'll go. What we focus on grows. What we see is what we get. There's so much evidence around this idea of our thoughts become things. We spiritually create our life before we physically manifest results. The way that we think is the way that we show up. Every action we take is motivated by an emotion. There are so many evidences of this that have stood the test of time. It is a universal truth. And yet we default into it's not working. I'm never going to get there. I'm looking at all the ways it's not working. I'm afraid that if I focus on what I do want, I'm going to be disappointed when I don't get it. There's a lot of fears that we have around actually looking at the positive, actually looking at what is actually working. There's a story, it's a parable of a man who walks into a house full of mirrors, and he's despondent, he's angry, he's hopeless. And everywhere he looks in this house full of mirrors, he sees frowns, he sees hopelessness, he sees apathy. And he walks out of that house saying, that was the most depressing house I've ever visited. I think I'll just stop here and sit for a while. I feel drained. I don't feel motivated to do anything after visiting that house. A second man walks into the same house full of mirrors, and he's confident. He's got pep in his step. He feels like he can accomplish anything. He's ready to conquer the world. He feels confident and hopeful. He sees possibilities. And everywhere he looks, he sees smiling, powerful people full of confidence and vigor. And he walks out of the house saying, "That was the most upbeat and powerful house I've ever been to. I feel ready to conquer the world." Right? So, where you shine your light is what you will see and the direction you'll go. What you focus on grows. What you build is what the seed you plant is the seed that will grow. So, if I'm planting the seed of fear and never going to get there and it's not enough, I'm going to grow more and that's the fruit that I'm going to get. If I plant the seed of positivity and hopefulness and possibility, that's the fruit that I'm going to get. Now the problem is that when I work with people and myself included, I'm including myself in this. I just had an experience this past weekend where I was feeling very despondent and feeling all the ways that it was not working. And my husband actually had to point out to me, I feel like you're looking at a lot of the things that went wrong in this situation. I think there was actually a lot of good. And I was so grateful for that perspective because we all fall into it. Our brain is hardwired to have a negative bias. It is a part of our genetic makeup. It's part of our natural man or woman. It's our ego. The way that our survival brain is designed is to look at things through a negative bias. If you are out hunting, let's bring this all the way back into caveman days, right? If you were out hunting and could only see the rainbows and the sunshine and the butterflies, then the bear could jump out, the lion could sneak up on you, attack you, and you would be left with hurting and dead. Right? And so, as a protection, our mind, our survival brain is constantly scanning for danger. It's constantly scanning for ways that we're going to be hurt. And the belief is the trick that our mind plays is that if I feel the danger first, then I won't be surprised. Then I'm not going to be hurt. But I want you to ask yourself that that is actually true. Really, all it is you're hurting in advance. There is you're creating a situation of worry and fear even before the worry and fear happens. So you're creating the experience that you don't want to have in that current moment. Now, it's really easy. Like I said, it's our default mechanism. And so when you have this negative bias that's just automatically the default that your brain goes to, it can be really easy to fall into that on a regular basis. And the good news is that we can reprogram our brain. And the best way to reprogram our negative bias is through celebrations. It's shining the light on the evidence of where we have created results. It's noticing and recognizing where you are showing up in the energy of power, confidence, and creation. It's giving your brain the opportunity to see more than what it's naturally programmed to look for. Research shows that marinating for 90 seconds in a positive emotion actually rewires that negative bias. So it is absolutely possible to rewire your brain to a positive bias. You have to practice it because you're working against your evolution. You're working against that part of you that is just defaulting into negativity. And it's like any exercise. As you do more reps, your muscles get stronger. And so as you catch yourself in the celebrations, as you create intentional moments of celebration in your day, you are literally rewiring your brain into a more powerful positive bias and shining your light in the direction of what you do want. We are really, really, really good at shining the light on everything that we're not. What we need practice on and what we need to do the heavy lifting on is everything that we are, everything that we have the potential to be, everything that is going right, even if it's small. So when I talk about celebrations, there is a very intentional reason that I use celebrations. It's not just a rah rah cheerleading tool, it is so much deeper than that. What celebrations do, when you focus intentionally on what you are celebrating, what is going right, no matter how small, it can be the teeny tiniest little thing. In fact, it's probably better that it's small because your brain wants to tell you it's only worth celebrating if it's big. But what if you just celebrated the fact that you got out of bed instead of hitting snooze? What if you celebrated that it took 3 times of asking your teenager to clean up his room before you yelled instead of one, right? Those are little moments of celebration that you want to focus on because it allows you to recognize I am in this moment, not worrying about what happened yesterday or what I'm afraid is going to happen tomorrow, but in this moment, I am being who I want to be right now. And that moment is going to flow into another powerful moment when I focus on what I'm doing right. So, celebrations allow you to create a personalized toolkit for growth. When I look at celebrations with my clients, I want to see what are the ways that are already working for them to create what they want. When I work with a client, I don't have a specific framework that says, follow this, do this, and you will create results. What I'm more interested in is what is naturally working for my clients for them to create success. And then we maximize, we expand that. We help their brain see the tools that they're using. They add a toolkit for creating success. They add another tool to their toolkit for creating success that is already working for them. It's so natural, it becomes something that just happens automatically. It's not something that they have to learn or force or use willpower to create. We're just using what they've already naturally learned how to do to create success, and we're maximizing it. We're really allowing it to expand and work even bigger and better. We're also in the process of focusing on celebration. We're building the belief in possibility. We're opening the door of possibility. I was working with a client today, and she has been working on opening the door of possibility to what she wants. For a long time, she felt like what she wanted to create in her life was not possible. And yet she still wanted it. She still had the desire. She had the desire to become this person that she wanted to be. And yet, if she wasn't willing to allow herself to see who she could become, then she can't. It's like you're pointing at a target that you can't see. Until you see that the possibility is actually there, that you have the capacity to become who you want to be, that that possibility is available. If you open that door of possibility, that's when you can walk through. You can't walk through a closed door of possibility. So when we work on celebrations, what we're doing is we're opening that door of possibility. We're saying, look at the ways it's possible. We're building the belief, we're turning up the volume on the belief that it's possible for you to have what you want. You're already creating it. It may feel small, it may be a 1% or a 2% shift, but that's enough. It's putting you in the energy of what you want. It's shining your light in the direction you want to go. It's also creating the belief that I can change, that my mind sees evidence that change is possible. And when your mind gets on board, it becomes more real. Now, you may have multiple experiences where you're creating little minute um, moments of success, but if you don't acknowledge them, if your brain doesn't recognize them, it's really easy to gloss over them as just something that I did. But when you take the time to break it down, to see the celebrations for what they are, that's when you can create the momentum of change, of possibility, of hope, of faith. I can become different. Willpower is not even necessary. Most of the time, when I'm doing celebrations with my clients, there's no willpower involved. It's not about the willpower. These are areas in their life that they are naturally creating success without willpower. That's where we want to go. If I can help my clients understand how they're creating success without willpower, without feeling like they're pushing through mud to create what they want, that's where change happens because it feels natural. It feels like there's evidence that they can. And when you build that belief, that it's possible for me to change, how do you show up? Like that man in the mirror in the house full of mirrors, he was ready to take on the world because he felt motivated by the positive, upbeat possibilities that surrounded him. Every action you take is motivated by an emotion. If your focus is everything that I'm not, all the ways it's not working, all the ways I'm never going to get there, your motivation is going to feel like I want to just sit down and take a nap. It's hopeless. But if your motivation is all the tiny ways that success is already happening, I can see the possibilities, it's actually working, that motivates you to get out and make the changes that you want. So whether that's in your business, as you're creating more business success by focusing on the ways that it's already working, all the ways that your clients are getting results, all the ways that you see clients reaching out to you, all the ways that you are connecting with the world around you in a way that feels aligned and authentic, that shows you the path to how to create more. Or maybe it's in your health goals as you are figuring out how to make exercise a regular part of your day. What are all the ways that you're showing up for yourself, walking to the mailbox instead of driving the car, taking the stairs instead of the elevator? Celebrate every little step in the direction of what you want and feel the power that comes from that. That momentum, that energy of I'm doing it. It's possible. I'm already here, keeps you motivated and keeps you moving forward in the direction of what you do want. So, one of the most powerful tools that I've used to create this powerful, positive energy of momentum is what I call miracle prayers. And it's something that I have instituted for several years now. It's one of my favorite parts of the day. And at night, I just allow myself to marinate in all the goodness of the day. What are all the miracles that have happened today? Show me, God, where the miracles have been. Open my eyes to the places that I'm not even noticing them. And what I have found is that once I start noticing the miracles, more and more and more show up. I notice this with my clients. We'll start a session with what are your celebrations, and they have a hard time coming up with two or three. But by the end of those two or three, when we've talked about all the ways that they're showing up intentionally as who they want to be, all of a sudden it feels like, oh, I can see all these ways that I'm actually doing more than I thought. It's the celebrations open up more possibility, and they actually see more changes that their brain was not allowing them to see, because the belief was, I'm not making any progress at all. So when you open that door of possibility, you start to see things that were invisible up until then. So miracle prayers, miracle meditation. I'm offering that in the follow-up meditation. It's a beautiful practice, something that is a powerful tool to come back to again and again and again. Starting your day off in the energy of miracles are happening, celebrations are all around, good things are happening now and are continuing to happen. What if you were to believe, what if you were to wake up and believe what amazing things are going to happen today? I have that belief because every night when I go to bed, I am looking and noticing all the miracles in that day. So of course it feels like it's a no-brainer to wake up the next morning and say, I wonder what amazing miracles are going to happen today. I can seek and expect miracles because I focus on the miracles and intentionally create that as a part of my day. I'm going to offer that practice for all of you in the meditation that follows this podcast episode. So I hope you join me there. As always, would love for you to share this podcast with a friend if it resonates with you. Leave a comment, share your review, share your thoughts in writing a review for this podcast. I certainly appreciate it. Reach out on Instagram, Facebook, Misty Springer Coaching, if you have any questions or thoughts. And look for some really cool offers in September. I have a group that will be starting aligned. It's an aligned eating program, all about looking at your cravings and finding that connection with your body and the messages that are waiting for you there, really eating with intention and intuition. So that's a powerful program that I'll be implementing towards the end of September. I hope you'll check that out. Message me for details on that. And as always, here for you in love and service, and can't wait to see you in the next podcast episode, creating miracles and celebrations.